Hello, this video is essentially a part 2 to the ortho video you should have seen earlier. What I did here is I copied down the original drawing we did in the orthos video and added a square hole in it just so we can see how that affects the views that we had drawn earlier. So some modifications that you see are going to be the square 1¼ inch by 1¼ inch. And we're going to pretend that this is just about center of the face that it is on. All right. So first things first, I would want to draw that front face of the square. So I'm going to come to my right view so I can get that square's shape in. And I'm going to, because I know this is down the center, I'm going to draw a line for construction purposes going down the center both ways of that face. All right. Now let me go ahead and redraw this one. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rectangle that has a dimension of 1.25 and 1.25. And then I'm going to move it from the center. To do that, I'm going to hold shift and right click on my mouse, hit mid between 2 points. Then I'm going to select 2 corners that are diagonal from each other. You'll see it'll automatically snap to the center. Then I can snap to where my 2 lines cross and delete those 2 construction lines. All right. Once we have that done, what we can do is now start projecting our lines over. So I'm going to draw my projection to my front face. Do my next projection. And then I'm going to trim to these 2 faces and switch these to hidden layer. All right. Now, because it's a perfect square and it's perfectly dead center, I could technically just copy these 2 lines up to my top view, but just to go and show you guys that process of that 45-degree angle to project lines over again, I'm just going to do it with my 45-degree angle as I showed you guys the last time. So I drew a line at 45 degrees. I'm going to draw a line up to my 45-degree line from each side of my square. And then I'm going to draw where they hit that 45 going across. And then I can switch to my object layer and then essentially trace it out. I should have actually switched to my hidden layer, but that's an easy fix. And there we go. Now we have a square opening inside our part with with the feature hidden on the other 2 faces. All right. Once again, square opening. If you guys are wondering what this little square back here is, that would essentially be the opening on the back side of the face. You can see through. All right. So now we have the square done. We can go down and look at the other thing I wanted to go over, which would be circles. All right. So now that we have the radius for this circle, we can go ahead and start drawing these here on the screen. So first things first, I want to draw the circle that goes in the center of this face. Then afterwards, we'll go into the curves on each side of the top portion of our L, just so you can see how that is mimicked in the view. All right, I'm going to draw a line dead center. And then I'm going to draw a circle with a radius of 0.50 or 0.5. Once I have that, I can delete that line and I can start projecting these over. Once again, they would be hidden because they are not visible. And the same concept of doing the 45-degree. Once again, just trying to be repetitive so you guys can see it as many times as possible, and because this is going to be a useful trick for you guys when you get to more complicated parts in the near future. Come back and draw this piece and this piece. Delete all of, I can delete these. I will match my properties here. Alright, so now that I have these, now I can go and put my center marks and center lines. So I need to go to the Annotate tab at the top. Make sure my center line there, so hit center marks. Select my circle, it automatically does my center mark. I can do my center line, select my two lines, hit it again, do these other two, and now I have my center marks and center lines. Alright, that is the easiest way to get it done. It automatically puts the offset at the correct distance it's supposed to be at, and it looks a lot cleaner and more uniform than trying to attempt your center lines manually. Alright, now for this 50 radius or 0.5 radius curves on each end of the right face. So here I can either draw a circle and try and paste it in, or I can use my fillet command. Click fillet, I'm going to hit R for radius, my size being 0.5 or 0.50, select my two faces, hit enter, select my two faces, and there we go. Now, because this is at an edge, technically you do not need to see, technically you do not need to project the line over onto the other views, because if you were looking at it from a far distance, that line would not be visible. So we're imagining like we're looking at this from a far distance. It's like grabbing your phone or a laptop, putting it far away from you, and when you look at it, you're not going to be able to tell where it curves away from you. Once again, that's if your laptop or your phone have rounded edges. You wouldn't be able to tell that it's curving away from you, especially if you're looking at it dead on from a far distance. So because of that, we do not represent them. All right. Other than that, that's basically it for orthographic views. Make sure to look in Moodle and read the instructions that are given to you by your instructor. That way you can attempt your assignments. If you have any questions, please email myself or whoever the instructor for your class is, and we'll be able to help you as best as possible to answer your questions. All right? Thank you.